Hi, in this video we're going to review the triangle congruence postulates. Triangles can be proven congruent using side-side-side congruence, side-angle-side congruence, angle-side-angle congruence, angle-angle-side congruence, and hypotenuse-leg congruence. Okay, remember 3 angles are not enough to prove triangles congruent, so you'll never see angle, angle, angle. And 2 sides with an unincluded angle are not enough to prove triangles congruent. So you won't see angle side side, because think about what that spells. You also won't see a backwards side side angle. Okay? All right, so let's look at the following pairs of triangles and see if we can prove them congruent, and if so, which postulate we would be using. Okay? When I look at the first set of triangles, I see angle S is congruent to angle T. And I see that the side from S to V is marked congruent to the side from T to V. And that's all they've given me. So all I have is one angle and one side, and I need 3 things every time, right? 3 sides, 2 angles, or 2 sides and an angle, so 3 things. 2 angles and a side, 3 things. 2 angles and a side, 3 things. And this one looks like 2 things, but since it's a hypotenuse and a leg, that means I also have to have a 90-degree angle so that I know I have a hypotenuse. So I've only got 2 things marked in each triangle, and I need 3 things. So I need to also be aware of the reflexive property of equality when triangles share a side, and I also need to be aware of vertical angles. And that's what I have in this one. I have this angle is vertical to this angle. Okay, so when I look at this, I can see these 2 triangles are congruent because I have 2 angles and I have this side that connects them. So angle, side, angle. Okay? All right, when I look at the next one, I can see that I have a single tick mark from P to Q. I have a single tick mark from S to T. So those match. I have a right angle at Q. I also have a right angle at S, which makes it tempting to say, oh, it's immediately HL, but I need to have the hypotenuse. And if you look, the hypotenuse is across from my right angle, and that one I don't know. I don't have that information. I do have another side with 2 tick marks, and a side with 2 tick marks. Okay, so when I look, I have 2 sides and I have an angle. 2 sides and an angle. So I have a side here, an angle here, and a side here. So is this angle in between the 2 sides? Yes, it is. So it's side, angle, side congruence. The angle is where the 2 sides come together. The angle is where the 2 sides come together. Okay? When I look at the next one, I can see angle A has a single arc on it, so it matches angle D. I can see I have a right angle right here, and if I have a right angle on one side, then that means I also I'm going to have a right angle on the other side because they're a linear pair. So those 2 angles match. That's all that I have information about that's given to me in the picture. But I also know that since the triangle shares this side BC, that it's the same for both triangles. Okay, so when I look at this one, I have an angle here, I have an angle here, and I have a side here. So remember over here how the side connected the 2 circles and we said angle, side, angle? But here my 2 angles are not being connected, right? So this one is angle, angle, side congruence. Okay? All right, when I look at the next one, I see I have a single tick mark that matches with a single tick mark. I have a double tick mark that matches with a double tick mark. And then that's all that's marked for me, but remember we have our vertical angles. So I know this left side of angle G is the same as the right side of angle G. Okay? So now I want to know if I have enough information to prove these triangles are congruent. So I have an angle here. I'm going to do the blue triangle. I have a side here, and I have a side here. So I have angle, side, side. Is that enough to prove my triangles are congruent? Well, we don't like that word, right? That is not one of my choices. My two angles, if I have two sides, they have to come together at that angle. My two sides have to come together at that angle. When I look at where these two sides come together, they come together at F, right? They don't come together at angle G. These two come together at H, not at G. So this one we have to say not enough information. They might be congruent, I need more information. Not enough information to prove congruent. Okay? All right, and then the last one that we have, let's see, I have a single tick mark and a single tick mark. I have a double tick mark and I have a double tick mark. And that's all that's marked for me in the picture, but just like over here where I have the shared side, the distance from X to Y is the same for my orange triangle as the distance from X to Y in my blue triangle. So that also matches. So if I label my blue triangle, I have a side that matches, a side that matches, and a side that matches. Those three sides mean we're using side, side, side congruence. Okay? Hopefully that helped you. Again, if you can get yourself two different color pens or two different color highlighters or two different colored crayons or color pencils or something, it really helps you to be able to identify which of the postulates you are using. Okay? Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks you so much for watching.